Good morning, McGee. Listen, I know y'all always say I just love this person that's come to see me today. I just have a special guest, but I really and truly do this time, as every other time. But Gilbert, my former husband's son, Kevin, his wife, and daughter are with us today. And I was so glad that they came to see me because I'm going to tell you, they don't come down this way. Because Kevin is in the military. He's been in the Air Force how many years?
26 years.
26 years. And so to get him to Mississippi is pretty much a big feat, and I was glad to get him. But I thought y'all might enjoy just some general information about Kevin and what's gone on in his life for the years that he's been gone from McGee, which would be 26 years at least 26 years. And he is a McGee High School graduate, and it's real interesting that Roz was raised in England in part of her time. So I, have to learn a little bit about that. And then Emily is in school in Illinois at their base at Scott Air Force Base there. So, Kevin, I'm going to start with you. Now, I'm just saying, I know that you were working with your daddy, and did you always know you were going to leave McGee? Did you always want to leave McGee? My boys did, so don't you want to offend me. You want to offend me.
I don't necessarily know that I wanted to leave McGee, but I did want to go overseas.
You did?
I wanted to go to England. England's where I wanted to go.
And you didn't even know about Roz?
And I didn't even know about Roz. No.
But you really wanted to go to England. That was the deal.
For some reason, I was always fascinated with England, and I saw the military as a possible way for me to get there. So that's.
And especially the Air Force. Especially with Air Force. When you, how did you choose Air Force though? Why did you choose the Air Force?
I spoke with many different recruiters, and as I went through the process, the Air Force just seemed to be more of what I was looking for. I was looking for a long-term commitment with the military, looking to make it a career, and I knew I wanted a family. So just the way of life looked like that was more suited for a family and for more of a long-term career.
Where were you the first time when you joined?
I joined,
like when you joined, where did they send you? Where did they send you when you joined?
Well, first stop was Lackland Air Force Base in San Antonio. That was basic training. And then I went to Denver, Colorado to learn my skill. And then my first duty station was England.
Okay, and that's where you met Roz.
That's where
now, how did you find Roz over there?
Well, it's
you don't have to tell the whole story.
It's probably not what I would recommend to another airman, but her father was in my squadron.
Okay.
I was there. They came over. She was in college at the time and decided she was going to travel with them one last time to England. And he was actually my boss in a way. I started dating the boss's daughter. And
she saw a good-looking man. Boy, I'm just saying, those southern ways.
That's right. That's a good gentleman.
That's right. That's right. That's right. So are you going to stay? How long are y'all going to retire soon, or do you have any idea what's going to happen with that?
Well, with 26 years in, I'm getting close to the maximum amount of time I can stay at my rank, my current rank. So we're making retirement plans at the moment, and that was one of the reasons for the trip this summer was to come down and look at a few things on the coast and try to narrow down the location of where we want to eventually make our home.
I think the coast would be a great place. Of course, McGee would be better, but it'd have to be. But I think that would be a great place. I think you would love it, Emily. It's beautiful down there, and it's a great place. I want to ask you some questions. As a child in the military, not a child now, but I guess you was as a child in the military. What did you? I can't imagine the life of moving. How did you deal with that? Was that really a problem for you?
It wasn't really so much a problem because I was born into it. So it was kind of something like I just got used to it. I was born in Texas, and then we pretty much I went wherever they went. So I kind of that's just my way of life. It's how I got used to living.
I guess that's true. See, I don't think about it like that. I think about, I'm moving because I've always lived in McGee. But when you've always done that, it's really not. It's not strange.
No,
it's not strange.
It's very normal.
Did you have problems with meeting friends or mixing, or how did that work for you?
It's always a little bit difficult whenever you're moving because you're having to leave the people that you've gotten used to. Pretty much just when I would get to a new school, I just kind of stick to myself and let people come towards me. That's more recently though. When I was little, I would just talk to people and just find whoever would let me talk to them. You know?
Right. You didn't know you were supposed to be quiet.
I didn't realize I was supposed to be a little bit drawn back because I was new. But so it's not, making friends isn't too difficult.
That's something you haven't found. What do you want to do?
I want to get into a university and start studying art therapy.
What is that?
It's where it's kind of like for the people who aren't very good at talking about their feelings. They can kind of look at a picture or draw some art or anything like that and just kind of let their emotions out that way.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's really, it's always interesting to me, the avenues that are out there, that things we've never heard of. You know, and we don't even, you know, you gotta be a teacher, you gotta be this, you know, this is how we grew up. You be this, or this. And there's so many fields and so many places and things that people can do and they can look for and go. And I've always been interested because Roz is an artist and she does book designs. And Kevin can tell you a little bit about her books, and we've been so excited about them and all. She doesn't like to tell, so I told her she didn't have to. We make Kevin and Emily tell all about it, but I have to brag on her because they're wonderful.
Roz has always been very artistic since I met her 23 years ago. That was one thing that I first realized. And our second child, Kevin Jr., had cerebral palsy and epilepsy, so it was hard to find daycare for him. So Roz had to stay home and take care of him, especially in the early years before he started going to school. And so we had looked for many ways to use her skills, and she dabbled in a lot of different areas to where she settled in illustrating children's books, puzzles, magazine articles. She really enjoyed that and found that as we traveled as a military family, she could basically just take up where she left off,
Right.
maybe change an email address or a website.
Because with a computer,
Right.
you weren't confined.
And right. What I'll say is that I had a friend that was a children's writer,
Mm-hmm.
and she introduced it to me that you can do freelance. It's called freelancing. You can illustrate with publishing houses where they come to you and you just, you know, you do the work at home and then you email it to them.
See that?
Yeah,
You know,
it's
it's
pretty
really
cool.
strange how things do work out like that. You know, you think, because I would think, as talented as you are, if you've got really that art in you, that you've got to be able to let it out. That if you cannot express, and that's probably true in any of our jobs, in whatever we do, if we cannot express what's really us, you're not a very nice person. You know, if you're not being able to be who you are, or let out with the art or whatever.
Well, and it was a great outlet with our son. You know, it
Right.
was a great way. It was, even though it was work, it was therapeutic for me, like she talks about with the art
Well,
therapy.
when she said that, I thought, I bet you this all
It ties
intertwines.
together. It
And
does.
many of you will remember, I think some of you will remember that, were members of First Baptist Church, that when their son Kevin Jr. was born, we prayed for him. He was on our prayer list forever and ever and ever. And when he was born, he was not expected to live.
No.
Because I know that Gilbert and Grace at that time talked about, you know, that he was not going to live. And he lived to be
15.
15 years old. 15 years old, that's something, and I know that's such an adjustment anytime you're dealing with something like that. They have another son, Jesse, who's back home, taking care of everything. And, you know, if you're interested in the military, I think that Kevin would be a great person for you to talk to. You know, you can always email to me, Sue@MageeNews.com, and I will forward anything to Kevin, and if there's some answers, but also to think about something like art therapy. And I'm so glad y'all came. Not just because we could video you, but just because you came back here. We love it, and we just love having you here with us. And I always tell them when I see Kevin, it's just like seeing a young Gilbert, you know. And nobody knows there was not a finer person than Gilbert. I hope you'll have a great day, and let me know if there's anything if you would like to come and speak to us about something that's of your interest or someone you'd like to promote, you just let us know. Thank you.